My name's Clint Anderson. I'm from Rock Island, Illinois. Train at Summit Training Center.
Mike Demakes, fighting out of Counter-Strike MMA Academy, Bodhi Collaborative Jiu-Jitsu, and 10th Planet Lombard.
I'm really good at what I do. I do what works for me. I've been doing it 12 years, and I feel like I've kind of mastered that stuff. Mike Demakes, I think that 12 years of experience fighting goes above and beyond fighting one time for Bellator. That doesn't mean he's better than anybody else. It just means that everything fell into place and the timing was right, and the kid happened to fight for Bellator. I didn't really know who he was until I got offered the fight. Seems like a game opponent.
My debut fight, I fought a Bellator vet, so as far as experience, you kind of look at the opponents that we've already fought, and I think I'm right there with him. I've been training for 10 years. My thoughts on Clint, nothing overwhelming. Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, striking, it all looks pretty basic.
A lot of people that are just masters at basics. They go in, they stick to the basics, and they win fights. They grind them out and they win fights.
Somebody's gonna go to sleep, somebody's gonna tap out.
It's gonna be a tough fight, and I'm looking forward to it.
Once that cage door closes, it's pretty much just autopilot. I just go off of how I train.
I'm ready for anything. No matter where the fight goes, I'm gonna bring in my A game. I'm gonna put on a show for the fans.
Buckle your seats because somebody's gonna get finished. This one's not going to the judges at all.
Stay in your seat. Don't get a drink during our fight because you don't wanna miss it.
Let's go.
What is this? Caged Aggression 24 continues. Making his way to the Caged Aggression Octagon is Mike Demakes, 5'9", 165 pounds, fighting out of Mokina, Illinois, and Counter-Strike MMA, Bodhi Collab, and 10th Planet Lombard.
10th Planet. Anytime I hear 10th Planet, I hope his jiu-jitsu is good.
I hope so. I'm a big fan of the 10th Planet system. I think rubber guard plays an extremely important part in today's mixed martial arts. The lockdown position kind of nullifies any strikes or really any movement from the top position, and it gives the bottom guy opportunity to do some damage by locking down one side of the body and arm.
Talking to Mike before the fight, he was saying that he suffered a high ankle sprain about 3 weeks ago.
Ouch.
How hard is it to bounce back from something like that? I know high ankle sprains are no joke.
Yeah, sometimes sprains are worse than breaks.
Yeah, I mean, your feet and your movement is everything in a mixed martial arts fight, so hopefully he can figure it out. And he doesn't even have his ankle taped or anything like that.
No, and
that's the first thing I looked at as soon as you said that.
Yep, and I'm wondering if his opponent, Clint Anderson, knows anything about that, because Clint does like to roll. He's got a heck of a lot of submission victories in his professional career, and maybe we'll see him try to attack some leg locks or some ankles or things of that nature.
Or, you know, he could even, on his feet, attack that ankle.
Low leg,
like them low leg kicks.
Low leg kicks would definitely play a big part in his game plan if he chooses to utilize them.
And here is the aforementioned Clint, the antagonist Anderson. No stranger to the Caged Aggression cage. 6 feet, 165 pounds, fighting out of Moline, Illinois, and Summit Training Center.
Big layoff for Clint.
Yeah, big layoff, but I mean,
how big is the bounce back?
Yeah,
we're gonna find out.
And he's no stranger to competition either. I mean, he's had a heck of a lot of fights, and when you competed that many times, I don't really necessarily know if any amount of layoff is really going to affect your competitive spirit. You know how to get in there, and you're just looking to get the job done one more time. Oh, his opponent with a twisty cartwheel off the cage. Better be careful with that high ankle sprain.
Hey, he said it wasn't too much of a big deal, but I mean, anytime I hear high ankle sprain, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
All it takes is one bad move, or
and maybe that wasn't even a diagnosed sort of thing. Maybe
he just assumed it.
Some trauma, and because he's moving pretty well, and he just did a tornado spin off the cage. So.
Yeah. So coming from 10th Planet, I'm guessing his jiu-jitsu is pretty good. We already know Clint's jiu-jitsu is pretty good. So, how long is this fight going to stay standing up? That's my question.
And again, like we've talked before, you know, sometimes when you have two great grapplers, it just kind of forces the stand-up, and we get to see a great banger.
Yep.
Which I'm a fan of. So.
Oh, for sure. Coming out to the Roy Jones.
Always a favorite for the mixed martial artists.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the Caged Aggression Super Lightweight Division, powered by the Poorhouse. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 165 pounds. He trains at Counter-Strike MMA, Bodhi Collab, and 10th Planet Lombard. Joining us from Mokina, Illinois, Mike Demakes. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands an even 6 feet tall and weighed in at 165 pounds. He trains at the Summit Training Center and is sponsored by Integrated Functional Health and Caged Aggression Fightwear. Joining us from Moline, Illinois, Clint, the Antagonist Anderson.
Mike Demakes in the red corner, Clint Anderson in the blue corner. Your referee for tonight's action is Ben Wilson. Jeremy J.D. Dorsey here on commentary along with Zach Mickelwright and the henchman Jordan Hinman. Let's watch some fights.
Battle of the Baldies here, boys.
Purple versus red.
Good inside leg kick.
Nice kick there by Demakes.
Checked kick. Fires back up top and just misses.
Clint's really good about using his jab for distance. You know, he might not be searching to hit you with every jab, but he's using it to gauge his distance and keep you away.
Ooh. And we get our taste of the first grappling exchange here. And a nice outside leg trip by Demakes. Clint's got double butterfly, and he's going to look to probably lock a shoulder down, maybe sweep to one side. Nope.
Goes with full guard and closes it. And this is not really where he wants to be. You know, his back is half on the cage, and he's perfectly perpendicular to it. So, you know, he's got to switch to one way so that he can get some space and create an opportunity to get a sweep or a submission here.
Yeah,
being here square to him, there's nothing for him, you know.
Being close to the cage like that would be a good opportunity to push off with his feet and then get his back to it and try to walk up and get in a better position.
Coming up on 3 minutes left in this first round matchup between Mike Demakes and Clint Anderson here at Caged Aggression 24.
Clint's doing a good job controlling.
Ooh, a couple big lefts landed by Demakes over the top.
Yeah, and like I was saying, Clint was trapping his right arm pretty well down at the wrist, but he's leaving his left arm wide open, and he got caught with a couple of them lefts. There he opens his guard up a little bit, and that's what he's got to do if he wants to create an opportunity to get up or sweep.
Be a good time for Demakes pop up and really laying down some hard punches from the top too. Nothing keeping you in that closed guard. Get some space and land some big shots. Worst case scenario, you can get back down in there anytime you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Natural ability is to cover up when a guy's throwing shots at you from the top.
Good shot landed there with the left.
Clint's brother's over here in his corner, and he's getting very verbal with him. He's not liking what he's seeing from Clint at the time. But he does like that. He's happy for that one.
Nice outside leg kick there by Demakes.
And as you mentioned before, Zach, Clinton's using that jab, trying to use it as a range finder, but I'd like to see him maybe commit to a couple, get in there, get a little bit closer, close the distance, and try to land a right hand.
And he set it up. He set up that rear leg kick with a couple jabs just a second ago, and really made him feel it. Now this tie up, you know, pulling guard like that, grabbing the head. That's not a good look for Clint. Now he's stuck in half guard on the bottom. Hopefully he can do something here, create some space and get back up, because he was having some success on his feet.
Yeah, Demakes definitely had an opportunity on the ground last time with the strikes, and he kept laying in that left hand, but now he's passed over into half guard, and looks like he's trying to maybe trap that right wrist. Clint sits up for a guillotine. He's going to use it to try to scoop out, maybe possibly sweep from here. Von Flue possibility right here from Demakes on top. All he needs to do is lock his hands up behind his head and start to squeeze. But he's comfortable with just pulling out and trying to do some damage at the end of the round. Good first round, a lot of action. I mean, Demakes, you know, had the top position 2 different times, 2 big takedowns, and landed some good ground and pound while on top.
Yeah, he's a pretty big, powerful guy. You know, it was a good first round for him. Clint, I'm sure he'll get good gouge from his corner here. Jeremy and Junior are going to give him an earful, so hopefully he can switch something up and get a win in the second round here.
Yeah, you got 2 jiu-jitsu guys, and typically a lot of time was spent on the ground. I always wonder though, when you have 2 guys who are jiu-jitsu practitioners like this, who's going to be the more aggressive? I mean, not necessarily the person who's on top. It can also be the person on bottom. It seems like Demakes was a little bit more aggressive from the top this go around, but as we saw in the last fight, just because you're on top does not mean that you're being the most aggressive in the fight.
Right, and I don't know how hard Demakes is really looking to submit Clint from the top. I just think he's looking to stay in good position, land some strikes, and try to soften him up and maybe finish him later in the second, third round.
Here we go with round 2. Cage Aggression 24 champions. Second matchup of the night between Mike Demakes in the red corner and Clint, the antagonist, Anderson in the blue corner.
Ooh, cock kick. It's
Great
left.
counter by
Nice.
Demakes.
Stand up, bud. Technical stand up. Kick away and get up. Kick away and get up. Technical stand up, bud.
Demakes just smashing the legs of Clint.
Get up. There you go. Up, up, up. Nice.
Very nice by Clint.
You don't back up. He does.
Oh, there we go.
Good little overhand by Clint there.
Put them combinations together and you can land some more punches. The 1s and 2s, they usually never land.
Good inside leg kick there.
2 or 3 at a time. Come on. Come on. And overhand. Okay, Tuesday all night long. See, Clint, he's looking for that over. Come on.
Good combination coming in by Demakes.
Clint's really got to set that up with some punches. I can't stress that enough. You know, anytime I'm watching fights and I see those open kicks there, it makes me cringe. You know, because that's an easy,
That's an opportunity
straight
to get
right down
knocked
the
out.
pipe. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Ooh, smash the outside leg kick. I bet that did not feel good.
Let's go.
Both guys still sort of searching for the range, man. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Demakes is getting a little more comfortable on his feet, being a little more aggressive, throwing a little more. Maybe
Ooh,
getting
body
some
kick.
confidence here.
Yeah, Demakes is definitely
Oh.
feeling more comfortable.
Little right over the top lands for Demakes.
More than 1 at a time. Finish your combo. Come on.
Anderson's corner screaming to finish the combos. We kind of touched on that earlier, that the one punch, two punch really don't land. You got to put more punches. That's why the term is punches and bunches. Anderson gets a little too fast forward coming in with his strikes and leads right into a takedown for Demakes.
Arm on the throat. Right in on the bicep, Clint. Box out. You gotta box out, Clint. Control that left.
Demakes could pass any time here, and I think Clint kind of kicked him in the cup, and they stopped for a second, but they agree to continue. Demakes has to be careful leaning in. He needs to lean in with his hips and not his head.
And there is a smart move. He gets down to a couple
you
knees.
You can't get kicked in the face when you're a
Exactly.
grounded opponent.
And he's going for a little scissor pass here.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Cutting to the
knees like
inside.
that. Yeah, that's so smart.
Now, when a guy's on his back and you're standing on your feet, you have to be wary of those up kicks, especially Clint. He's a longer guy, and Demakes was not doing a good job with head positioning because he was kind of hunkering down over him. And in that position, you want to walk your hips in. You want to keep your head back. Of course, you can get kicked in the body, but there's no power off your back, so those are not going to affect you to your body, but to your head. Now, we have seen guys get knocked out by guys laying on their back with axe kicks, or up kicks, excuse me. Ooh, and some thudding elbows
good
lands
elbows there.
by Demakes.
So far, a good showing by Demakes. You know, him being a first-time fighter in cage aggression. You know, I'm impressed by his skills. And at the same account here, I'd like to see Clint do a little more. You know, I've seen better out of him, and I'd like to see him open up a little bit.
Could be a little ring rust, man.
Yeah, you're right.
You never know. And of course, training is not always as serious or as tough as fights. So maybe he's just lacking a little intensity, you know, like the will to want to finish, the will to win. I'd like to believe Clint's down on the scorecards, though. Demakes, pretty good showing in the first 2 rounds. Very dominant top game, landing big strikes over the top. And he's getting a little more comfortable on his feet. So we'll see where this 3rd round brings us.
Yeah, knowing Demakes is a jiu-jitsu guy, it's really nice to see him gaining confidence in his stand-up. I don't know if that's just something that, you know, you get more comfortable as the fight goes on, or you start reading your opponent and saying like, hey, I might be able to take advantage of him standing up as well. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he gets more comfortable, like you said, and it's more confidence. You know, the more shots he lands, that's just up in his power. You know what I mean? His power, his mind. You know, he's just getting in a better state of mind every punch he lands.
All right, about to
Demakes calling for the crowd to get a little excited. Let's go.
Going to start round 3 in this Cage Aggression 24 second matchup of the night between Mike Demakes in the purple shorts and Clint, the antagonist Anderson, in the red shorts.
2 or 3 at a time.
Ooh, good inside leg kick. Low calf kick, too. No, and another one. Those are going to add up. It's going to be hard for Clint to put pressure on that front leg, and you can see the redness already start on the calf. Oh, there it was.
Nice little glancing blow. If that would have landed a little better. It could've
Only
been-
if he would have thrown 2 or 3 more punches after that. An uppercut followed up by that overhand would have put Demakes to the mat because his head was down, his eyes were closed, and he was in no position to defend a shot like that. And another inside low leg kick, man.
And you see him try to walk that one off. It's starting to hurt him.
And another
starting
one.
to lift his leg a lot.
And it takes the power off your shots. You know, the more you eat, the harder it is to put that weight on there, man. You get real tentative by coming in because it hurts.
Yeah. And it's screwing up Clint's game.
Oh,
A little bit of a slip there.
Oh, good outside leg kick. He's tearing that leg up here in the 3rd round.
And he's doing a good job of just walking Clint down, just keeping him real close to the cage, not really letting him go anywhere, and he's just tearing his legs up.
Yep.
And then more to the inside low leg guy. I don't know.
A little bit of Eric Wisely coming out right now.
Man.
We'll see that later on tonight.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning is not going to be fun. I know
good
that.
Counter there by Demakes. Good overhand right. Ooh, nice body shot. I'm not really sure what hit him initially, but
yeah, I don't know what put him on the mat. Oh, and Demakes just really doing. Ooh, he's looking to finish here. I think he's.
Yeah, he smells blood for sure.
Clint's got to bite down on his mouthpiece, and he's got to give it hell because he doesn't have a whole lot of time, and I believe he's down in the scorecards. I don't think he's going to win a decision here, so
yeah,
he
it's going
needs
to be a fight he needs to finish.
He needs to knock Demakes out or finishing with a submission. Good overhand right by Demakes once again, followed by inside leg kick. He's just kind of doing what he wants out there, man. Perfect game plan. High kick.
Man, just changing up the levels constantly.
Climbing that ladder, low, high, low, high. And easy
falls to
takedown.
Guard here.
Right here in front of us. Clint's at least able to get some instruction from his corner. I don't know how well or how much time he has left to get anything done here, but he's going to have to create some space and try to get back to his feet or try to get a submission to finish this fight.
2 minutes left here. I mean, he's got plenty of time to finish this fight, but at the same time, so does Demakes.
Right. He's got to create. Anderson's got to create some urgency from the bottom, and I think if Demakes puts the pressure on right here, he might be able to get a finish himself. Ooh, you hear those ones. And something that I'm surprised to not have seen by Demakes is any sort of elbow attacks. He's a pretty short and compact, stocky guy, and I'm sure he's strong as an ox. I'd like to see some posture and smash and slicing elbows.
Yeah, even if he just drops those elbows straight down,
like
on
right
his,
here. If he just Clint's
stomach.
controlling his right, Demakes' right wrist. If he just rolls that out in elbows, it's a perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
Demakes gives us a smile and a wink. Oh, and he lands a big overhand right there. Just doing a good job smothering Clint, working the meat to the body. Another overhand with the left, and he's landing about every shot that he throws. Right here, here's a good elbow opportunity. And
there it is. Probably heard you.
I got to call it how I see it.
I feel like he owes you money now.
I'll take a cut.
And every time he grabs the wrist like that, it just scares me because that's perfect opportunity for them elbows. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yep.
You can almost bait somebody to grab your wrist and you just throw it right over top.
Yep. Oh, those are hard shots to the body. You can see the knuckle prints on Clint's ribs.
Every time, just gains 4 more knuckles.
Oh, big elbows, big ground and pound.
Demakes is finishing very strong in this fight. I don't think there's any doubt that he might lose this.
No. And a great fight by Demakes.
Man. Very, very,
Dominant
very impressive performance by Demakes, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I
that
definitely look
guy
forward to
is
seeing
a
him again.
contender in this division. Wow. I mean, where's the weakness in his game? You know, like I said, you know,
there's always holes there, JD. But
course,
Clint Anderson wasn't able to find a single one tonight, and that makes Demakes probably a happy man because he just got a big victory here for Cage Aggression tonight.
Yeah, especially coming in knowing that he's a jiu-jitsu guy. His stand-up was solid, very solid. And like you said, as he got more comfortable, you got to see more and more of that.
Yeah, he was not afraid to throw, and he was throwing some hard shots.
Yeah, 3rd round, too. End of the 3rd round, dropping tons of bombs.
I would have liked to see him start that a little earlier. It could have made for a much more exciting fight. Not saying this fight wasn't exciting. It was a great fight. But waiting so long to open up and gain his confidence, he should, that's something that he should look at these tapes after this fight comes out on YouTube and stuff and study himself and realize that he can't wait as long to pull the trigger like that.
He's got a skill set and he needs to utilize it a little bit earlier. But nonetheless, man, great job by Demakes here.
Absolutely.
So where does Anderson go from here?
That's completely up to him, man. I'd like to see him bounce back. This could be just, knocking some dust off the old bottle, but hopefully he gets up and rides again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely a tough opponent to come back to from a layoff.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely not a slouch whatsoever.
Yeah, Demakes look sound tonight. Really happy with that performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to your judges' scorecard for our decision. Our judges scored this contest 30-27, 30-26, and 30-26, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Mike Demakes.
Mike Demakes, your winner here at Caged Aggression 24 champion.
All right, here we are with your winner here, Mike Demakes. Mike stepping in against a very tough opponent in Clint Anderson tonight, picking up a tough win, man. How's it feel after the decision?
Hey, it's been 2 years since I've been here. A lot of people don't know me, but now after tonight, now you do.
So you've been training exclusively lately, we know, with former Caged Aggression champ Manny Vasquez. A lot of big things going on for Manny. What can we expect up next for you?
Hey, I do weight cuts for all these guys. I have more world-class athletes than just him. So if they got a fight, I have a fight. It's been 2 years since I've been in the cage, but I've been through all his fight camps since he fought Sean, the Bellator fights. I got guys like Antonio Sanchez. I'm working exclusively with 10 Planet Lombard now for all their competitions. So I'm just always ready.
Well, it sounds like it. What'd your coach say?
He said that I just beat a former champ. We didn't know that. So my hat's off to Clint, former champ, stepping in with somebody like me. It's a high risk, low reward for him, but very low risk, high reward fight for me. So, we're here to put our name on the mat. That's it.
Well, you've done just that here tonight, and I can tell, as well as everyone else here, the path you're on, that title shot might not be too far away. Anything you want to say before I let you get to the locker room? I
have the best friends and family that came out to here. It's about 2.5 hours away from here, and I heard you guys just as loud as we heard Clint's people. So out of town, in town, it don't matter. Thank you all for the support.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your winner, Mike Demakes.